Hello, today we are going to continue cleaning up the purchasing approval screen. And if you saw my video from last week, you'll know that we went ahead and found a way to get rid of everything that was invoiced on a closed invoice with no quantity on hand. This week, we're going to be tackling items that have a quantity on hand. And how I want you to sort out your purchasing approval screen is to have this invoice column be visible. You can also have the charge to status, and I like to put the class in there. Over here, the most important part, we need your to order and then the on hand quantity. We're going to be making a view called invoiced quantity on hand, and that view is pretty simple to build. We're going to be naming it invoice quantity on hand, and its invoice number is not blank, and the quantity on hand is greater than 0. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this view, and I can see here that I have a project with one item that needs to be ordered, and there are 4 on hand. Now, this might have been invoiced a long time ago. So I can see that there's an invoice already created. If I'm just trying to clean this up, what I want to happen is I want this to be gone from my purchasing approval screen. I don't want to have to worry about it anymore. And I want to make sure that I'm not affecting the current on-hand inventory either. If this inventory count is correct, if there really are 4 on hand, I don't want to artificially lower the inventory count by picking one from stock, making that quantity on hand 3. Rather, I want to keep it as 4. So if I go like this and I approve this product, you would expect it to show up in the purchasing screen, just like the products we did before. But since there's a quantity on hand, it's actually going to disappear. And I'll show you what I mean by this. I'm in my purchasing approvals. I have my product selected. Everything looks fine. It's a medium display. I'm going to go actions, approve products. And when I go to my purchasing screen, it's going to be nowhere to be found. I can't find this product anymore. It does not mean that it's gone, and it actually hasn't been completely cleared out of your system. Instead, it's going to be under the product pick and ship screen. This is a newer screen within the ConnectWise PSA ConnectWise Manage environment. So it's here under procurement, and I'm going to go to product pick and ship. I like to look at the not shipped tab. You're going to land on the not picked tab. You can do whichever one you want. I'm going to be on the not shipped, so you'll be able to see a little bit more from there if you would like to take a look at that screen. I'm going to try and find that product again. So it was a 55-inch display, and that's the charge to. So I'm actually going to put that in the product ID section. And here's my medium display. So it's this new product, which has a quantity to pick of 1 and a quantity on hand of 4. In the product pick and ship screen, you can scroll over and find out if your product has been invoiced. You'll see that invoice number and invoice date as well. And ultimately, what I want to do is create an inventory adjustment to adjust 1 unit into stock. Then I'm going to pick and ship that unit, so net neutral, no overall impact to the inventory. And then I'm going to exclude that inventory transfer from my accounting interface. So I'm going to take the SKU and I'm going to go into my inventory management screen. Not everyone should have permission to do this. I recommend keeping a pretty tight lid on who is able to do inventory adjustments. Normally finance and procurement would be the only ones. If you don't know how to do an inventory adjustment, I'll cover that in more detail in another video. Just comment inventory adjustment below and I'll show you how to do it. For now, I'm just doing it very quickly, and I'm probably going to want to have a specific type of adjustment here. So in this adjustment type, I would in the back end add a different kind called purchasing approval cleanup or something like that, just so I can keep track of it. All I've done is added 1 unit to stock, and I'm going to close that adjustment. And when I go back to my product pick and ship screen and refresh it, I'm going to have a quantity on hand of 5. So that has increased the quantity on hand by 1. I'll take the product I want to clear and ship it. This is going to do 2 steps at once. It's going to pick and ship the product at the same time. I'll make sure that I select a bin. So it's picking the product, it's shipping the product. That product has now disappeared. Only now have I actually cleared out the demand for that product in your ConnectWise PSA system. If you leave it in there, if your product pick and ship screen is extremely long, it's going to mess up your inventory because it's going to artificially inflate the number of units ConnectWise thinks it's needed for all the products and projects, sales orders, and service tickets. So it's really important to clean this up. I've gone ahead, I've shipped my item, demand is closed. The last thing I want to do is exclude that adjustment because I don't want it going over to my accounting package. So I'm going to go into Finance and I'll go to Accounting Interface. And this is where I'm going to go to my unposted procurement and find the adjustment I did today. So I'm going to go into Adjustments and look for the one that I did today. This is the adjustment that I did where I put a unit into stock and immediately picked and shipped it. I'm going to go to Actions, Remove Records, and I'm going to say Purchasing Approval. 408. Now, this will not go to my accounting package. I won't put any new information into my QuickBooks or whichever software you're using. And I have finally closed out the purchasing approval screen. It is a lot of steps. It is harder when you are doing items that you inventory and that you have on hand because they don't flow through to the purchasing screen. Rather, they go to that pick and ship screen. I can do more videos on the pick and ship. If anyone's curious about it, just let me know. I respond to all comments and like, follow, and subscribe.